All right, I'm gonna start the video. Don't say anything your grandmother wouldn't want to hear. And you get to be seated because he's not here. You were appointed officially last meeting, so.
But even though I'm not.
You were appointed. You could be a layman.
Does that work?
Yes, you were appointed by the council, so you don't have to be on the council to be appointed by the council. So.
Come on up.
Somebody else gets to run meeting because Amy hasn't run meetings yet, so we need a volunteer.
I'll go ahead and do it. Give it a shot. I'm a little rusty, but I'll give it a shot. Want to start?
Yep.
You get a call to order?
Yep. Does everybody have an agenda? Anybody need an agenda?
There we go.
Yep. Go ahead and get started, Chief. Go ahead.
Go ahead and do call to order. Do the roll call. Chief Perez. Here. Councilwoman-elect Amy Bird.
Here.
Joyce.
Here.
Joyce Lopez. Scott.
Here.
I don't know if Manny's here. Let me see the last name. God,
Yes,
I don't know.
that's fine.
So I'll go ahead and do this again. Chief John Perez.
Here.
Assistant Fire Chief Tim Gatto. You excused. Police Chief Frank Alanis. Here. Scott. I am so sorry, Scott.
Here.
Still in Bauer.
Here.
Joyce Lopez.
Here.
And Councilwoman-elect Amy Bird.
Here.
I believe we have a quorum.
Yep, we have a quorum.
We have a quorum. We can pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No invocation.
Right, do the consent agenda for the approval of the minutes meeting for July 21st, 2022.
I already made them all. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion to approve.
Okay, motion's been approved. Move on to new business. Discussion on quarterly drills. Number A, topic A, discussion on 2022 quarterly drill.
I'll go ahead and open that one up. So for Q3, we had an LZ class we hosted up at Resolution. So we had, who was it? Airback came out, I think it was. We had, I believe, 7 from your team. It was, I think 7 from our team and 3 from your team.
It was 3 from us.
Yeah, it came out, it was a good drill. Did the class, and it's always good to have the helicopter come out and do the class and just refresh everybody on that. So, yeah, there wasn't really much to talk about there. And then this quarter, what we're looking to do is have everybody come out and do a new site tour. We've got a lot of new people on both teams, all 3 teams, I should say.
Yes.
So what we're gonna try and do is schedule when they're on duty to come out, so it's not a big inconvenience for you. So maybe if we do smaller little teams that come out, it'd be more effective than trying to get everybody out at the same time. So my team will work with your guys' teams and schedule that. They'll come out, do some kind of individual tours while they're on duty. So I think it should be pretty good.
That'll work. Yeah, we can talk about it and get some people over there.
That works.
For sure.
This is a discussion item. We don't have to approve anything. So as soon as you feel the discussion is done, we can move to the next one.
Subject number 2, 2022 quarter 4 drill. You want to address that or?
That's what I was saying. So we're gonna just have everybody out and we're gonna go through a bit of a site tour, go through some of the project updates, layout, some stuff's changed, and then we just have a lot of new people, so I'm good.
We'll move on to topic B, discussion possible approval of Superior Fire Department 2022 through 2023 capital expenditures. Chief Perez.
Yeah, we got our expenditures all, I think, right in line. Of course, it takes a little while to get stuff quoted and people having it and everything else, but I'll go down the list real quick. We're getting the 6 more SCBA cylinders. That way they all don't expire at the same time, and we'll have plenty after this for sure. Some structure turnouts, we'll get a couple extra because they run out of date, and a lot of ours are getting, well, a lot of ours are getting close to getting out of date. There's a couple that are out of date, so we plan to get some more turnouts, so we can be up to date. And then also hoses, we need some more hoses. Ones we have holes in, people run them over, whatever the case may be. We'll get some extra hose. They get damaged on fire, so we keep the proper length on all the fire trucks. And then we were gonna have a turnout room, but that's not gonna happen as of yet because there's a lot to it than just building a room. There's probably a lot of engineering involved, how it's supposed to be a clean room and stuff. So we're able to move some money over to our other, that's how we get the extra turnouts because they're expensive. And then we're also gonna get some chains. I always want some type of rescue chains. If a car goes over the edge a little bit, we're able to tie off to it. We're getting 2 25-foot length chains that have grab hooks on them so we can wrap around any part of the car, truck, whatever, and tie them off somewhere. Of course, we get some chainsaws. We gotta get a couple of those. One's the actual rescue chainsaw. They're pretty expensive. Don't know why, but they are compared to a normal chainsaw for cutting wood. And then also for our rescue package, we need some new cribbing, new struts. Our struts have been there since for a while. Airbags, we were able to get this $8,000 here. Is actually $4,000. The one I have here is one of the older ones, but that's how we're able to cut down and get a good airbag system for $4,000. Ours has been there for a while, and some battery operated tools, Sawzall especially, you can cut a lot of stuff with that, and some handheld tip cameras, which I think everybody is to be able to have at least one per shift for sure, have them on themselves. Part tag system, we used to have one and they come and go and they change all the time, so we found a good one that needs to work for us, so we're on call, we know who's there. And of course the tool, the trash hook for fires. But the list you have right here is probably the old list, but I know that the $8,000 for airbag controls went down to $4,000. I don't have updated the list on this one.
Just as a note, we did have budgeted for vehicle purchase for $40,000 this year, and it'll be on next year's budget as well. But even if we ordered the truck tomorrow, probably won't be here for a year and a half at least. Probably more like 2. And we still haven't got the USDA funding completely lined up. We did hire a grant writer for that, and so hopefully we'll have some good news on that fairly soon.
Yeah. She has all the information right now, so hopefully, like Todd said, we're keep going because we need a new truck. Like our 631 truck just came, it's not back in service yet. It's been out of service for 3 weeks. We just got back to us today. We still haven't put it in service yet. Our guys are out on calls today, so maybe by tomorrow morning we'll have our truck back up and running again. It's been down for 3 weeks. I'm like, these old trucks, they're hard to find parts for and they're expensive.
NFPA says 25 years your truck is supposed to be out of service. The ISO says as long as your frontline truck is newer than that, you can have an older backup. So we just have to replace at least one truck.
Yeah.
So the contract does call for us to stay in compliance with NFPA or another standard. So previous groups have decided that we're going to follow ISO. And that's the first one has to be less than 25, but the backup can be older.
And they're all maintained. All our trucks have been well taken care of, so.
But one's 25 and one's 24, or?
Yeah, more or less, one's 25, one's 24.
So we're at the time where we have to replace. So we will need a motion to approve this capital expenditure list.
Motion to approve, I motion to approve.
I'll second.
Call for the vote.
I'm a little rusty, Todd, sorry about that.
Huh?
I'm a little rusty, I haven't done this in a while.
No worries. Just call, any further questions?
Any further questions? Motion approved.
No, we have to call for the vote.
Call for the vote. Sorry about that. It's been a while.
All is in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Todd.
All opposed? Any opposed?
Any opposed?
So protocol for these, since Amy's going to be running it next time, is that you do call for the, like we did, you get to call a motion for a motion, the motion is put forward, you have an opportunity to have any questions for that, and then we call for a vote. State law requires that if there's any nay votes, you have to do a roll call vote. So it has to be, so if somebody were saying nay, then we'd have to ask each member individually to vote.
Okay, section C, discussion of possible approval of Superior Police Department 2022-2023 capital expenditures. I'll go ahead and take care of that. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Resolutions for their assistance in this process. I have 8 items that I'd like to talk about really quickly, touch upon. So the first thing, or the 8 items are a LiDAR that we are requesting for our motorcycle and our traffic unit, renewal or continuation of our policy manual with Edwards and Armada Law Firm, our subscription to the Police One Academy training platform, a motorcycle upfit, the purchase of Type 3 barricades, a Motorola multi-unit charger, expenses for the FBI National Academy, and also the Arizona Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. So the first thing I'll touch upon, and if anybody's got any questions, please ask me. It's going to be our LiDAR. The purpose of the LiDAR is it's twofold. One, to measure speed and also measure distance. This is going to be used by our traffic unit, or our traffic officers. It's multifaceted in which we can use it for crime scenes and also traffic accident investigations. So this would be a really good tool for us. It's an expensive tool, that's why we don't have it. We just have radars in our vehicles, but like I said, this is used in primarily on our motorcycle or by our detectives or even officers. There is a picture with some information on the actual model that we're asking to purchase in the amount of $2,735.74.
Just a question, so it's a mobile unit, so can it be used in cars as well, or is it just?
Yes, it can. You have to be stationary when you're using it, but yes, you can use it in the car. Our motorcycle officers will park, they point the LiDAR at a vehicle, and that's how you calculate the speed. If we have a crime scene, say for example that chair, there's blood on it or something, and I'm standing right here, so from right here I can measure the distance, and that's important for me to diagram a scene, and same goes for a vehicle accident scene. So we can diagram it, get a true distance on everything, so when we get to court or for insurance purposes, we'll have an accurate depiction of what occurred. Yeah, it's a pretty neat tool, but they're very expensive, and smaller communities, this is a little difficult to obtain. The second item is Edwards and Armada Policy Manual. So we've played with LexiPol and Edwards and Armada. LexiPol is a national organization, and they provide policy manuals throughout the United States for law enforcement agencies. Edwards and Armada is the same thing, except for they're from Arizona. Eric Edwards, he's a retired lieutenant out of Phoenix PD, and Armada, I forgot where he came from, but the original person was Beverly. She came out of Tucson. They put together a law firm, and they put out these manuals and also training subscriptions. So that's the model or the platform that we use for our policy. Our policy manual for our organization is really important for us to have these policies in place and continue the subscription, because we're in the first quarter of 2023, we plan on moving forward with accreditation. So we have to have a solid policy foundation for our organization to move forward with this project. And any questions on that? Nope. So I'll go ahead and move forward to Police One Academy. We've been using Police One for about 2 years now. It costs about $80 per officer. I've requested 20 subscriptions because our staffing levels fluctuate up and down. So with this platform, it's a really inexpensive way to train officers. It's online. You can do it 24/7. Most of our officers complete their training on their cell phones whenever they're bored at home or elsewhere. I don't have to worry about per diem, lodge, or anything like that. So it's just one tool in our toolbox, because we do attend training also. But this is very affordable, and it really works out well for us, because by law we have to have X amount of hours, I think it's 8 hours continuing training for each individual officer, not including certifications. So this has really worked out really well for us. On average, we spend about $1,500 to $1,600 per year on this, and it's quite a bargain. I'll move on to Type 3 barricades.
I have a question on that.
Yes.
If you use all 20 of those subscriptions, if you have an officer that drops off, are you able to pick it up on that same, or do you have to purchase more?
No, the subscription is just a subscription, it's not, doesn't necessarily belong to me. So if I use it for 6 months and then say I leave, and then on month 8, we hire a new officer, then we pick up on month 8
Okay.
with that subscription.
No, that's good.
So, yeah, it's really, really great, a really great program. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours that we've already used on that. So it works out really well. And that goes both to sworn and professional staff, because even Joyce doesn't. She does the exact same courses we do. So works out really well for us. All right, so type 3 barricades, over the last,
Where should we net?
I'm sorry, I think that's next. We're gonna skip
Just get a bit based on your print list, but
motorcycle outfit. Let me find it.
Well, that's fine, we can.
No, I'll get on it. Just gotta find it. Oh, there it is. I got
Find
it.
it?
So our motorcycle outfit, we're a fiscally responsible organization. The motorcycles that we got 3 2015 BMWs from the Department of Public Safety. This was given to us for free. They have a vehicle program where when they hit certain mileage, instead of going to auction, they'll put it out to police departments and then we'll reach out. So one of the things when I first got here I wanted to do was create a motor unit. And it's really important for us to have this unit, especially with the tractor trailers that come through town and the speeders. The motorcycle is just another option for us in addressing this issue. So I reached out to DPS, I talked to the town manager first, told him my intent, what I want to do and how to go about it. We have to be fiscally responsible because we just don't have the money here to just go out and buy BMWs. So DPS was fortunate enough, we filled out the contracts, we got 3 motorcycles for free. However, the motorcycles did not come with the lights and the markings, and a few, like the LiDAR and a few of the pieces of equipment that we need. So we're pretty much, I would say 75% there. The outfit kit is gonna be the lights and the sirens, is for safety purposes, and also to initiate traffic stops. So we need this little piece to make this come to fruition. Once we get this, we'll put the markings on and then we're done. We already got 1 officer who's motor certified, and we'll be sending another officer if everything goes well in February to the Phoenix Police Department Motor School, and have another officer certified as a motor officer. So, like I said, we're almost there, we just have a couple little pieces left, and then we'll be fully functional.
Very good.
Move on. And, make sure we stay on track. Type 3 barricading. Over the past few years, we've had a lot of events in town, they're getting larger and larger, and traffic control has been a big concern of ours. We're currently using vertical barricades, and then we have some hard barricades. They're a little longer, but a piece that we're missing is the type 3s, and I have a picture included in the brochure, or the map, the brochure I included. The type 3 barricades, I'm only requesting 6. It's not very many, but it's a start. These are going to be shared with Public Works and also the fire departments if they ever need them. We work really well with one another, with all the other departments, so this is just one piece in a larger puzzle. Hopefully as the years go by, we're just going to just keep adding on to what we have, and with the intent of using these out on the town.
I just have a question, why is this fall under your budget, not Public Works, for road?
Well, that's a great question, and the reason why I'm actually purchasing these, because when we do have traffic accidents or something serious that we have to close, the patrol car isn't the best option. If we can get, my goal is, next year or the year after, is to get a trailer, and then, well, I'm gonna call it, so I have a name for everything, right, the traffic trailer. We'll get a trailer, we'll pack it up with barricades. As we switch out from the Explorer to an F-150, we have the tow package. If we have a serious incident that we need to close off roads and we just don't have enough cars, we can just hook up, go out there and just start putting these out ourselves without having to wait for Public Works, because calling them in sometimes takes a lot of time. Our Public Works director does leave some barricades outside, but most of them are secured because they do get stolen. But we have to take the initiative and just be prepared for an incident ourselves and go out there and take care of that. So that's why we're doing this instead of them.
Okay.
and they Public Works ones tend to be painted black and are nasty, and they putting them in a cop cars.
Who owns the ones on, like for festivals we put out that are orange and?
The big water ones?
Yeah.
Those are all Public Works, but those aren't for quick deployment for accidents, and that's kind of the the Chiefs, if you look at most of his, they break down, so they can be loaded on a cop car.
Yeah, we have one of these days when you get time to come by the PD, I can show you, we have a really neat barricade system that folds, we keep them in our department. It's really neat, it expands out to 6 feet, it folds, you can stack, pretty cool. So this is actually pretty normal, a lot of departments have their own barricade systems, rarely available just for a larger event, just to close over the road. Like I said, we can assist fire with this if they have something, because the vehicles are expensive, and they're not my preferred choice for roadblock, and when you're looking at a vehicle between 75,000 to 100,000, depending on the vehicle and the equipment it contains, if someone was to hit that, you're out. And we only have, I think, 6 vehicles total,
Yeah.
you know, so we really can't afford it. I'd rather have somebody hit something that costs $400 versus a big pickup or a fourth floor.
Yeah, makes sense. I just questioning why you're having to do it, not public works, so.
And it's gonna be more of a trend going forward, because more and more of our public works employees don't live local. So when you call them out, could be an hour and a half response time to get barricades put up on a traffic scene. So it's just an unacceptable delay, but.
The next item is gonna be a Motorola multi-unit charger. This is basically right now, in our department, we have individual chargers. It's just a more efficient way for us to charge our radios, that's basically it, versus the individual chargers. There's nothing fancy to this. The next item, make sure I'm on track, is gonna be the FBI National Academy. So I'm very fortunate, I got accepted into the FBI National Academy. I got a couple more little things to clear as a hurdle, but I'm pretty much, using percentages again, 90% there. This program is in Quantico, Virginia, and it will require some expenses. Everything I find, or I go to, I always try to find either grant monies so the impact does not come on the town. But this academy is free to us, with the exception of my salary. There's gonna be a couple little things that I have to take care of, like the plane tickets and stuff like that. So I'm asking for some funds to help pay with the educational expenses related to the academy. This is an honor to go there. They only hold four sessions per year. This is for chiefs and upper level command staff. So I mean, just the fact, it took me a couple years to get there. I was supposed to go there in 2019, but when I got the job, or when I became chief, I had to give up my seat. The fact that I'm able to get another seat is unheard of, and I don't think I'll ever get a third seat. So this doesn't happen now, it's not gonna happen, so. But this is really good for it's good for me, I'm not gonna sit there and say it's not, but it's also good for the community and the police department as far as recognition and legitimacy for our organization. And those of you who've been around Superior PD know that we really do need this. This is part of our path with accreditation too, so, any questions on that? Next one's gonna be the accreditation program. So the accreditation program is through Arizona, it's a state certified accreditation program. There's two of them. There's a national one called CALIA, and then we got the Arizona one. The Arizona one I think fits us better because it represents our state and it represents our needs. But there are costs incurred. There's a thing called Power DMS, which is where the policies go and some of the procedures. This could be very time consuming, not expensive, but it is gonna cost some money. We recently brought on a lieutenant, which I intend to introduce at our next council. He's a reservist, and he's here 3 days a week, but he's gonna be spearheading this project. But as we move forward with this, we do need some money to get started and get the software in place.
And this is, again, not just a good idea, but a direct recommendation from the risk pool attorney with the Southwest Risk Pool, our insurance company that covers all of the police departments. I feel this is an excellent step to decreasing liability and improving the department.
Yeah, and they're and also risk pool is one of the partners in the accreditation process. So we're really excited that we're even here. It's taken us 3 years to get to this point, and we're hoping to have this accomplished by our 4th year. And that is it. That's all I got.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we, unless there's any more discussion, but, to approve the expenditure.
I'll second that motion to approve.
Okay, so, strike aye.
Call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So,
All those opposed? Carries unanimous.
so, That is it. Call for an adjournment.
Yeah, we don't technically have to call for an adjournment, but, the mayor likes to do it anyway.
All right, let's call for an adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn. I'll make a
I'll
motion.
second that.
Motion approved. All right, guys, thank you.
Well, we need a vote, need a motion, you gotta vote on it.
I'm sorry about that. Call for a vote. I am rusty. I haven't done this in a long time.
Aye.
Aye.
I think, YouTube was gonna have a good time with this one.
Any opposed?
Hope you're ready, cause I'm gonna be next, and I'm gonna be in the middle.
Any opposed? We're good.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you for everything, guys.
Better you than me.
You ready?
Oh, man, I haven't done it in a while.
Take turns.